G'day and welcome to Game 2 between EHOME and ShenZhen in this lower bracket elimination match, lower bracket round 2. So if EHOME lose this, they are gone. They are out of TI potential. No chance at all. However, luckily for them, ShenZhen have first picked Undying. So GG, EHOME win Game 2. And we're going to a Game 3. But I guess I should probably give you a little bit of value on the picks and the other bans and potential picks that might happen in the game. EHOME ban out the Enigma and Marcy. We just talked about Marcy being particularly strong in these qualifiers in general across all the regions so far. Enigma warranted first phase ban. If an Enigma pick gets through without a solid counter, it can be incredibly damaging. It's very hard to take any fight. The threat of it's always sitting over them. ShenZhen just banning out the zoo. Here it is. Broodmother, see you later. Visage, see you later. Beastmaster, see you later. The zoo is being banned. They don't wish to go to the zoo, ShenZhen. They don't wish the zoo to escape and come to them. So they get rid of those straight away. First, other picks, Hoodwink and Alchemist. EHOME go again for the Alchemist. So they think that they had a good draft last time. EHOME think they just didn't execute the Alchemist well. Which, you know what, I think I can agree with. I think their draft was decent. They had a good plan with the draft, EHOME, in Game 1. They just sort of lacked the execution in a couple of those fights. Particularly when the power spike was just about to hit and they lost their momentum, which is what can happen with an Alchemist. ShenZhen, though, picked the Faceless Void. Incredible pick here. Phase 2 makes it through, you go for it. Undying and Faceless Void. It's not a bad setup for Undying. It's pretty good. The zombies will build. I want to see an Invoker pick here, if it isn't banned. Pick the Invoker. Pick the Snapfire. Snapfire's not taken out. Lycan is banned as well. ShenZhen, they are not having any zoo. Not any at all. I think they've just put a filter on the Dota pick screen. Any hero that is 3 stars micro, 3 stars complexity, let's just ban it out. Clearly it has micro involved. It's got extra units. We're not dealing with it. Which is a good strat, actually, for an Undying. ShenZhen, they might actually pull off a win with Undying here. The draft so far is favorable for it. Still, though, has a 39% win rate, maybe. Does win occasionally. EHOME just taking a long time on this last, or this next second phase ban. They've removed the Death Prophet, and the Bloodseeker will be the one to go. Interesting ban. EHOME, they might be a little bit shaken here. So Faceless Void's already picked, which you would assume is the POS 1. Bloodseeker normally picked in the POS 1 position, unless you're going to run it in an off lane or mid lane capacity. Maybe that's the homework they've done on ShenZhen, that they do like to pick this mid or off lane Bloodseeker, but still, that's a... Seems like an almost waste of a ban there. Unless you are wanting to go into the Pangolier or the Timbersaw, which is possible. That's generally what you want to ban if you go for Timber or Pango, so that might give us a hint as to where EHOME is going. ShenZhen, though, have removed the zoo to their satisfactory level and will now ban Puck. Puck, one of those heroes very good at getting rid of Faceless Void prior to BKB. And there's the Snapfire ban. The Snapfire just with good combo with the Faceless Void, and Pangolier immediately picked. So that Bloodseeker sort of foreshadowing that Pangolier pick a little bit there in the draft, showing that they did want to grab up the Pango. Most likely going to be a mid Pango safe lane Alk if they want to run that safe lane Alk again. Pango in the off lane is okay, but you definitely don't get the early levels that can make a lot of impact from this Pangolier.
Dire team pick.
ShenZhen, grab the Tiny. Ooh. the good pick. Against Alchemist, you want burst. So a Tiny can provide a lot of burst into an Alchemist in a very short duration, can get him out of position as well, remove him away from his team, and get the, you know, get a Chronosphere to finish the job. Alchemist excels against low bits of damage, tick damage, chipping damage. As soon as you have high bursts against an Alchemist, you're starting to feel very threatened that your Chemical Rage is not going to keep you alive. Oh my goodness. It's a Pangol, it's a Skyreth Mage. So the silence, very good on Pango. Unlikely to get an early BKB, wants to more get a diffusal.
10 seconds
and yeah, maybe get that roll up later on to get a little bit of additional BKB immunity. Silence incredibly good on the Pango, but the ultimate, we were just talking about burst being valuable against an Alchemist. We have a Tiny, a Skyreth Mage, and a Faceless Void. This is a very good counter Alchemist draft. EHOME are going to have to be praying for an incredible early game to get this Alchemist online and the rest of their team online, applying pressure on the map. Positive for EHOME though is that with the Zoo being banned, they didn't really focus many bans on other heroes. So Batrider does slip through. Batrider incredibly strong, good at laning, good at farming, good at the single target pick. Can combine well with the Unstable Concoction. So you lead in with the Lasso and just charge up the Unstable Concoction once you get him. And chuck that in on top to finish the job. While the right clicks go to work. So certainly a good combo there with the Alch. Both teams have that sort of chaos creator in the team fight. Pangolier for the side of EHOME, Tiny, and I guess the Tombstone for the side of ShenZhen, just creating a little bit of chaos and confusion with what might happen. EHOME banning out Doom, thinking that yes, it is going to be the POS 3 that is still coming. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a mid-Tiny. Considering the Undying and the Skyreth Mage are already picked, so this is going to be a core Tiny. Most likely mid. I would be surprised if we see it in the off lane. TA and Morphling banned out for by ShenZhen against EHOME, indicating they think this Alchemist is not safe lane. They think it's a support Alch. That's the read from ShenZhen this series, that they think this is a support Alch right now. And that the POS 1 pick is still to come out from EHOME. They could be correct. Did run Alch POS 1, didn't work out. Maybe want to run the Alch again, but not so much in that position. 2 minutes of reserve time for ShenZhen as well, as opposed to the 8 seconds of EHOME. So they can take their time here, ShenZhen, and figure out what pick it is that they want. You know, from the off lane, I think you just want some early tempo still. Maybe a little bit more frontline, just to make sure this Void doesn't get caught. I mean, how would a Primal Beast fit into this right now?
Radiant team pick.
Omni Knight. So is it a core Omni? Or a core Skyreth Mage? Or a core Undying? Oh, please let it be a core Undying. This is what I said. I hope it's a core Undying. I said if you run Undying, it has to be a core. ShenZhen, maybe one of them just tuned into my stream between the games and heard me calling that out. Medusa will be the last pick, so it is a support Alchemist, I would think. Echo will grab the ZZQ on the Alchemist. Hera will grab the Omni Knight. Dome, it's a 3 Undying. Oh, okay. I'm going to look like an absolute genius when I completely flame Undying and say the only way Undying will ever win is if it's played as a core. And here we go. It's a 3 Undying. I think this is going to be a wall. Now I'm all in on the Undying train. ShenZhen winning game 2. Despite that, I think Faceless Void with a Skyreth Mage sitting behind with a Tiny as well from the mid lane is a lot of burst. And even Medusa with that mana shield is going to struggle against the damage coming out from ShenZhen in this game too. It's Vodka. Considering Undying support is Z tier, I think C tier Undying is a big improvement. So it will be the mid bat being played by Echo, Zeal, the offlane Pango, and Planet on the 4 Woodwink. I'm interested to see the skill build from Alchemist. I think you definitely want to level up that Unstable Concoction, be that tanky stunner for much of the laning and early game. And then start to get maybe a point in Grievel's Greed just to start getting a little bit additional gold. What is this box here? Not sure. Be more visual bugs. Okay.
Prepare for battle.
This guy has no chill, man.
Okay, so as the game starts, smoke from both sides just to get down some early vision. I do like this ward here on this high ground. It rarely gets dewarded and provides a good vision into the river, any early rotations, and getting vision on the runes. So, a little excellent ward there. And I'd like to see teams start doing the homework on each other to see where they chuck down their level 1 wards. I know they try and keep it mixed up every time. Look at the vision here. They're just seeing everything that ShenZhen's doing at the moment. So ward down behind the tower here. Good to get some vision, particularly if there's offlane of ShenZhen. In terms of the other wards being placed, Planet's still holding on to one right now. So I actually see a bottom rune contest. No, ZZQ will just let it go. And it'll be 3 bounties over to EHOME. So a little bit of a good start for them at the moment. Challenges coming out left, right, and center. So for the mid lane, Echo will be playing the Bat Rider up against the Tiny of Phoenix. In the safe lane for EHOME, ZZQ on the support Alk will be helping out the Shiro Medusa. I'll be laning against the Core Undying, being played by Dome, and YP on the Skyreth Mage. In the safe lane for ShenZhen, Kaiko on the Faceless Void, being supported by Hara on the Omni Knight, up against Zeal's Pango and Planet on the Woodwink. Level 1 Hammer of Purity, I love to see it. Get that pure damage. Just man up a little bit in the lane. Excellent for the harass. Does mean you delay getting the maxed out purification, the Heavenly Grace for a little bit, but certainly is value early on. Now Echo very good against Phoenix in this mid lane. You know, Tiny will take a lot of magic damage. He's melee, so he's got to run in. It's 5 stacks. You know, grab the Flame Break. So we might just grab the Flame Break there and try and just get value damage with those 6 stacks of Sticky Napalm. 7 stacks even. I think you actually just grab the Flame Break and deal a ton of damage with that level 1 Flame Break in that situation. So Acid Spray is level 1 from ZZQ, or level 2 with the Unstable Concoction as well. I think these lanes are going to turn out to be pretty passive until maybe Tombstone is leveled a little bit on the bottom lane. Or Bat Rider just dives in middle with the high stacks of the Napalm. Top lane has potential to have a little bit of damage with the Shield Crash plus Swashbuckle. But with Hera sitting here, the Heavenly Grace will keep Void hopefully pretty topped up and safe in this lane. Water Runes have spawned. Echo has the bottle charges. Phoenix not yet having it. In fact, he sent out Boots first, so it's going to be no bottle a long time for this Tiny, and Echo is probably going to get both of these runes if he wants them. In the top lane, Zeal just playing it close to the edge. Has to be a little bit careful. Emerald Purity plus maybe a bash might be enough to get him in trouble. Bottom lane, Undying, Decay, and Tombstone. I expect the maxed out Decay so that you can farm on this Undying. ZZQ is not going to enjoy this lane at all. Every time he steps up, he'll get a Decay, get a combo. It's going to hurt a lot. 2 stacks middle. Echo will throw out another one. Keep Phoenix. He's got plenty of mana, so every time he comes up, there'll be a sticky napalm charge put on him. Oh, another one. Keeping those decays running. With the Undying, 60 decay damage at level 10 will mean that he can start farming. I get a deny on the flag rare, but won't get enough for the time being. Still no first blood in this initial game. It'd be lovely if these predictions didn't keep updating. Echo still holding on to this Water Rune, so much mana. Phoenix unable to really threaten the Batrider at the moment, but saying that, has 18 last hits, so even with all of the threat the Batrider gives, he is still getting the last hits in the lane and the XP. So Batrider, although in theory Tiny's big and slow, he's got to walk in and tank a lot of those sticky napalm stacks. He is getting everything he wants out of the lane. That's why I thought maybe the level in the Flame Break would have been a more value point. Just get those stacks up, throw the Flame Break out, and just hurt him that way. It's an 18-second cooldown. It deals a lot of damage. 15 damage per second, plus the amp up from the sticky napalms. Bottom lane, they're underneath the tower. Shiro is getting dove. There is a tiny tombstone down. They will get it. So this Undying getting the first blood over onto the Medusa on this core position. Level 2 tombstone with the level 2 in decay. Those early points in the mid lane. Tiny will go down to Echo, eventually getting punished for getting all those high levels of napalm, and it's with the level in Flame Break. Certainly I think he couldn't get the kill until he got that level in Flame Break on the mid lane. Gets it and immediately gets the kill. The Kaiko, top of the CS chart at the moment with the 26 on this top lane. Oh, actually, yeah, Bash. Bash City gets the 1 Bash. What level Bash is he at the moment? Just a level 1 Bash. So, pretty low chance. 12% chance of getting it. But, yeah, 12% is not 0. Hera just sitting middle. Hera? Hara? I think Hara. Hara sitting middle. Protecting Phoenix from the bat for the time being. With the level 2 in Heavenly Grace, just looking to dispel and provide some additional survivability. Have a level 2 tombstone. Here comes the TP from Bat. Concoction comes out. He's under the effect of the acid spray. Puts it down. Will not drop the tombstone just yet and decides no, it would just be feeding away the gold. Will accept his death. Makes Batrider run over as far as he can. But yeah, dropping down the tombstone in that situation would just feed over a bunch of gold. And I'm glad the Dom there decided against using it and instead keeps it up and active, and which means when he respawns, he's still a large threat on the map in this early game. Zeal close to level 5, just going for the maxed out Swashbuckle and Shield Crash. I know there was a time when, you know, people didn't even level the Shield Crash and just went for the Swashbuckle and Lucky Shot early on, but certainly not worth it at the moment. The Shield Crash is being a little too good, and certainly a lot of value for the Pango early on. Does allow you to farm a little bit faster as well. ZZQ still no level in the Grievel's Greed, so just getting as much value out of the Acid Spray, minus armor, plus the Unstable Concoction. Playing this more like just a support hero who's going to be happy to have not much gold for a large portion of the game. Bako, he'll accept that damage and say, I'll jump towards you and give you a little bit more. Mana boots on Pangolier, so he's going to be happily using the mana. Hara. Only the 1 level in the purity, so not really a lot of movement slow. We'll both get the denies over on the respective sentry runes. And YP is now hanging around mid, trying to get a kill onto this bat. Phoenix might just bait a little bit. Over in the jungle, Planet and Hara just trading a few blows. Bottom lane, there is an ultimate. He'll drop a tombstone if he can get up on this high ground. We'll see if he can make it over that far. We'll pop the ultimate and the tombstone. I think he has to try and fight. There is a lasso. The tombstone is getting hit and will go down for 150 gold. But while that was going, they weren't focusing the damage over in a dome. And I think he will get away. Silence comes out onto Alchemist. He'll self-stun and whoa! The hit from the Flesh Golem and the level 3 decay. Doing the damage. You can see the strength from this core Undying. It's a good start. Can really start to scale into this mid game. That was a lasso committed on the Undying. He lives, turns around, and gets the kill. Did feed away the tombstone gold. But I'm sure he'll be happy with that trade in the end. Well, Krakow getting a little too many bashes for what he would like. Actually wrecking his last hit there. Just debuff off the damage with the Time Walk. Switching over to net worth, we can see the Undying top of the net worth charts early on in this game. Sort of trying to keep staying ahead of the Medusa at the moment. The 2 levels in split shot will start to farm a little bit faster, but Faceless Void is not too far behind. 3.6k gold. So actually, most of the cores very similar net worth, all within 1,000 of each other in the first 10 minutes of the game. So no team really getting away with too much of a domination on a lane at the moment. It is 2 and 2 to kills, as you would expect at the moment, with fairly passive lanes. It will become very active once ultimates come online. Yeah, the Skywrath Mage ult, pulling that out. Tiny with some more levels from the mid lane. Chronosphere. And of course the Rolling Thunder will mean a couple of rotations coming in pretty quickly from the level 6 Pangolier. Yeah, he's level 6 now. He's got the XP, and we'll go back and get the mana. Looking at getting a Blink Dagger as soon as possible. He is coming in mid. There's 2. They want to try and contest this rune. Here comes the silence. Roll is coming through with the jump. We'll connect over on Phoenix with 1 stun, but not enough at the moment. Here comes the Heavenly Grace. We'll protect him under the effect of this lasso. I don't think Tiny's going down. They don't have enough damage. Purification as well. Bako's here. Has 10 sticks for a chrono if he wants to pop it. Tombstone level 2 is available. Stun comes out over onto the Faceless Void from ZZQ. But with lasso used and not yet a 6 on Hoodwink, actually scratch that. He just bought the book. Sharpshooter is now up and running. Roll is down. Over on the side, Avalanche, Toss, catching out this poor support Alchemist. And this level 8 Tiny with a DD. There's no way ZZQ is living through that one. With, yeah, just boots and a wand. Shiro showing this mid lane. Wonder if they want to drop a chrono on this and try and get the kill. There is a Mystic Flare available. Level 1 in Mana Shield at the moment, so certainly not enough to protect against 3 heroes damage if the chrono did come out.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Kaiko close to the Maelstrom. Probably wants to have that before he drops down that chrono, but there it is. Mystic Flare will come through on top. I know you can't see it because there's a visual bug. The Sharpshooter almost hits the Faceless Void. One more hit would have been enough, but it wasn't get there. So yeah, Mystic Flare does come down there. If you listen carefully, you can hear the sound, even though visually it is not there. Certainly, something happens a lot. Flame Break does force Phoenix back. He is ticking down. Firefly is used, but more just to hit the creep wave. Gonna be very hard to kill heroes if Hara is sitting behind with this maxed out Heavenly Grace at the moment. And particularly this Tiny, who's got a lot of HP and armor. I'm not sure they can bring him down while he is heavily graced. Planet doing a little bit of recon work. Has a ward if he wants to drop it behind the tower. I believe the side of ShenZhen are coming to across to defend. They have an invis Tiny. Mystic Flare is ready once again. The mana situation is not, though. Has no mana on YP, so I'm out with the silence, and that'll be enough. One more hit. Yeah. Cleave damage will do it, and the Pango goes down. Phoenix, mid Tiny, is getting a really good start, along with the core Undying. It's looking very good for the side of ShenZhen. They're going to take a tier 1 tower bottom, potentially, with the zombies committing with the tombstone. Still have half duration. Paco's here as well. No chrono for 60 set. Stun, charging up. Dolm will be assisted by the Omni Knight, and yeah, he's not going down either. This front line from ShenZhen with the Undying and Tiny, it's very hard to kill them, particularly if Tiny gets off the Flesh Golem. I mean, let's just do a little bit of reading here. Strength multiplier is 40%, and Heavenly Grace gives bonus strength. A bonus 38 strength at level 4. So with the Undying, he's going to look like he's potentially low, but he's not actually going to be. 3-man smoke. I think it means just to be a 2-man smoke, though, from ShenZhen accidentally catching the Void. Mystic Flare again online with almost enough mana to do full combo from YP. I think he does. Phoenix leading the way. Now with a Blink Dagger. It's a Planet Hoodwink. He's going to be leaving this planet and going to another one in a moment. Silence comes out. Will commit the Mystic Flare, and he goes. Wouldn't say he's called Planet anymore. Maybe Moon, because that's where he got pretty much tossed to by this Tiny. Up and down. And eventually they will get this bottom tier 1. They'll commit for it. Mid lane. Chrono comes out defensively. And he will be safe. No lasso was used. Stun. Self over on Alchemist. But no chrono now. For 144 more seconds. That could single go time for EHOME on the bottom lane. They're smoked up. ZZQ leading the way. Not yet charging up the Concoction. I think he's going to do it now. Concoction will start going, but the stun comes in and he might just die off the bat. The silence on top. He will go down to the tree toss. Zeal trying to get control with the Rolling Thunder, but it's not going to be enough. Walking through the Firefly, but that damage won't amp up to threaten them either. The level 4 Firefly, but without the sticky napalm charges on top, it just doesn't threaten with the damage. Phoenix now level 10 will get the bonus 10 strength, so more and more strength for these two tanky cores of ShenZhen. And 7 kills to 2. EHOME with an Alchemist support this time instead of core. They do feel like they're slipping a little bit further behind. Planet is desperately trying to get this shard, get the Hunter's Boomerang. Phoenix is just waiting. He's got combo. He can kill the Alk. Oh, if he just waited a moment, I think he would have seen the Alk walk up and it would have been a free kill. Jiro just walks in. The tower almost goes down. 9 HP. They will look for the deny. Yeah, forcing Shiro back, so this tower will be denied. And Phoenix close to the Echo Saber, so even more burst. Dolm, bottom lane, with the Armlet on the Undying. Oh, I love it. Armlet into BKB. This is a big boy from the off lane. Yeah, his net worth is starting to slip a little bit now, down to 7.4k. But he's still the top of his team. So incredibly strong with this Soul Ring plus Armlet. Freds, soon BKB. Gonna threaten a lot of damage in the fights. These early levels on the Undying can really start racking up if you play him as a core. Went for the 60 decay damage, so he can farm. This Undying, watch him hit these. Watch the decay go off on a creep camp here. It's actually a lot now, with the plus 60 damage. A couple of decays will clear a camp, but looks like they're heading mid. Level 4 Tombstone, just the one in Soul Rip to make sure you can mainly heal up the Tombstone if it does start to get focused. Look, that's a creep wave. It insta-killed the range creep with that plus 60 damage. So this guy can farm. Normally Undyings can't really farm,
Radiant's
but you
middle
certainly
tower
can with
is
this
under attack.
60 decay damage and the maxed out decay with a 4-second cooldown. Trying to bait Dome here. They don't want to bait YP. Here comes the TP. Rolling Thunder comes out, will catch over on the Undying. Now comes the Heavenly Grace, but he'll live. We're getting off the Tombstone and the ultimate Shiro with the Stone Gaze coming through. Stun falling up from Zeal. Rolling Thunder will come in. He'll be Flame Broke back further into the tower. He's disarmed and he will go down. Over onto the side, Tiny has been caught. Will toss over back, but it's not quite enough. Faceless Void will just jump in and jump out with the Time Dilation and the Shard Time Walk. Just to save his core Tiny here. So Undying does die for the cost of the Hoodwink. Not really what they wanted. Tombstone committed. The tier 1 still stands strong for EHOME. So a successful defense. And that top net worth hero of ShenZhen will die. Probably wouldn't have happened if you had a BKB there, but certainly was a little bit further away from that. And you want to make use of this level 4 Tombstone when you have it. No smoke here, but they are moving across. Phoenix with once again the blink available. Illusions in the bottle. They just wait on this high ground. They'll see someone come across. Will they know? I think they see. They just blink into the tower. Hera sitting behind, looking to save with the Heavenly Grace and the Purification. Stun will actually go self-stun over off on the side. Only the level 2 concoction at this point. Toss up to deal a little more damage to the tower. Medusa stealing the mana. Becoming a little bit more tanky once again. But the Acid Spray will do enough to slow the push. 5-man smoke now for an EHOME. They are looking for a pick. They walk up this high ground. Faceless Void is not here right now. You're going to be caught under the vision. You go on Phoenix. He will pop the Illusion Rune and the Heavenly Grace comes out. Broken. Echo is pushing through with the BKB. Trying to get onto the Omni Knight, but he will just run away. Phoenix is dying under the effect of the Heavenly Grace. It won't be enough to keep him alive, and ShenZhen will have to retreat. Maybe playing that a little bit casual then. Not seeing EHOME anywhere, and with their Void being a little too far away to connect on the lane, maybe they shouldn't have been this far deep in the jungle. Philosopher's Stone has been dropped. Who's going to grab it? Is it the Undying? He might if he's greedy. Philosopher's Stone on the Skyrath Mage, so got to make use of that. A little bit extra gold. Efficiency. Echo continuing his farm at the moment. Showed off his BKB in that last fight and will now look towards the Blink Dagger after he already had those boots of travel. Shiro, top net worth now. Almost 12k in the bank. With the Manta, completed Dragonlance, and now getting into the 5 Skadi. So this Medusa is going to be very, very strong. The bottom lane, Roll comes out, catching the Omni Knight with a stun and the follow-up Sharpshooter. He will die. Momentarily before that, the Batrider did die in this top lane to Tiny and Co. with the Mystic Flare. Not sure his BKB was actually ready and available before that gank came, so it would have been, I think, reasonably good timing from ShenZhen. And they take the trade. They lose their pos 5 and they kill the opposition mid. So I'll certainly see that as a win in their books. Omni Knight not rushing the Aghanim Scepter as we saw in a game yesterday, but instead will be going in for more the auras, Glimmer Cape, the Wraith Pact, potentially the mechanism if he wants to, but probably not. Gonna need to have a lot of gold to get that far. Mech will probably be too late by the time he gets it, so unless he goes for the Guardian Greaves just for a little bit of self-dispel. Smoke, 2-man, comes out once again. It's the hit squad. YP and Phoenix looking to get onto anyone who shows. There's a Rod of Atos as well now. So a little bit additional lockdown. It's a 5-man counter smoke this time from EHOME. They're moving together as a group. They want to fight around this Stone Gaze. Medusa is strong. That's the call they make. Alchemist has a mech. Coming up to the high ground. Echo leading out. Actually, we'll just get a lot of damage coming through. The mech Nexus gets rid of most of it. Concoction catches over on the Omni Knight. The break comes through. Omni Knight trying to heal enough, but it won't be so. ShenZhen, once again, happy with that trade. Well, not so much a trade, but happy with that loss. It's a good death when the POS 5 dies and the rest make it out from a 5-man smoke. It's a worthy death and certainly worthwhile. ZZQ, 1 level in Grievous Greed. I wonder if he wants to grab another one just yet. He's going to be this support Alk that's moving around the map. With 4 staffs, maybe a Solar Crest to keep his team alive. Maybe even a Glimmer Cape. Paco. Maelstrom online. SMY coming up momentarily. He wants to be able to keep fighting in this game. Wants to keep using his chrono. It's level 2 now, so 4.5 seconds. A 150-second cooldown. I think if they dump all their damage onto a unit, they have enough. Even this Medusa, it's a tiny combo, you know, with the Undying, maybe a damage amp, and decays, and follow up with a chrono. Scarith Mage on top. Scarith Mage ult on top. They have enough to kill Medusa. Now, I think that will remain so throughout the entire game. Medusa will always be killable if she gets caught without a BKB being popped. And that's scary for EHOME. ShenZhen deliberately picked this sort of draft, knowing that you know, damage was the way to get through a Medusa. 3-man smoke around the Roche Pit. They want to go in. No, they want to keep hunting. They ping out the top tier 2. Chiro is already into the jungle, just clearing it out, making sure that the creeps are theirs, and knowing, getting the intel that, well, if they aren't here, they have to be in our jungle or their triangle. There's limited places they can actually be. And since ShenZhen has hung out in their jungle a fair bit, I think it's a safe bet that that's where they are. EHOME makes that guess, and we'll just head into the Roche Pit. And if you don't want to come and contest in your own jungle, we'll bring you to us. Roshan is falling. In comes the rotation. Concoction stun comes out. Tombstone on the ground outside the pit. Can they protect it? They get it down for a little bit longer. Phoenix tosses up. Stun will follow. Rolling Thunder coming through. Catching on to control out the fight. Stonegaze getting the Omni Knight as well. He has a buyback. He will immediately use it. Comes in with the chrono. Will he try and finish the Roshan? He will. Grabs the Aegis. Kaiko getting the job done. Will jump away out and back in. Tiny with the combo. He's out of mana on Shiro. There is a lasso on the back line, but Dolm is huge. He got BKB off and the ultimate. He's just hitting him down. Zeal will swashbuckle up to the high ground. Chase is coming through. There's an Arcane Bolt, and between the Avalanche and the right clicks of Kaiko, the Pango will go down. And ShenZhen bring their entire team fight this time, and it's too much for EHOME. They try to zone with that Stone Gaze. They try with the Rolling Thunder to get off a little bit of control. The lasso came out onto this Undying, but it wasn't enough. This boy is huge. Gets that Flesh Golem off with the BKB and the Armlet. I'm not just saying he's huge in terms of his goal. I'm saying he dominates the picture. Omni Knight buyback was used though. That was the one item expenditure that Hara had to use. They won't want to be positioning himself too far forward in any future fights. If they see this Omni Knight, it is a very good pick for them. And the side of ShenZhen do look a lot less scarier when there isn't the Heavenly Grace and Guardian Angel there to back them up. Zeal now has the Wraith Pact finished up, so he's just that team fight disruption. Lasso comes out, catches the Tiny. Oh, the roll actually gets Hera on the side. Will he get in time? Actually, he self Heavenly Graces. Phoenix will get one off as well on him as well. They're fine. Disengage will come through. And the lasso is just not used at all. I will admit I'm I'm an honest man when I learn something, and I just learned something right now. Heavenly Grace applies to himself and the target ally. When I saw it cast down, I thought he just misclicked himself, but Hara certainly doing the right thing, getting his tiny with the Heavenly Grace. So there's my learning for Dota for the day. Does apply to both. Bottom lane, Echo, hiding in the trees, will pop the Firefly. Going to cut a creep wave here, should be fairly safe. I don't think they can punish him too quickly. Will immediately TP once the damage is done. Blink is available. Will he immediately TP? Echo, he's actually been found. He didn't TP straight away. BKB will be forced. And the Blink TP comes out. I mean, it is only a 6-second BKB, so fair enough. I think just forcing the rotations across is fair enough. But Shiro, he's alone on the top lane. Blink is in, and with the avalanche, is there a toss target? They're waiting to see someone tosses him up into the air on the spot. Phoenix can't really face towards him or be stoned up. But it's a chrono! Catches Medusa right on the edge, cancels the TP. I think he'll still walk away. But they will get the Alchemist with the follow-up damage. So Stone Gaze used and the TP. Not getting the kill on Medusa. In fact, I'm not even sure that they had the vision on him. Thank you, Tangled12, for doing the honors. Yes. They're looking in the items coming up. I'm really interested in offlane Undying. He has the halberd completed as well. Wants to get the shard. Very good for this core Undying. Reduces the cooldown by 35 seconds and makes more zombies. Now, he's gone for the soul damage, rip and heal. 60 decay damage. He's huge in the fights. He even has a Cloak of Flames. This is the perfect game for a core Undying. Pyko has a Lincoln Sphere, so no lasso onto him. That could just spell doom for a team fight if they try and lasso this Faceless Void with the Lincolns available. Don't tell me he's got it. The shard's here as well. Undying. I think they have to kill him early. If he lives in these fights, he will just start decaying a little bit too much. I want to see the Aghanim Scepter come out for this Undying, though. That would be the next item. If that was me, I'd be looking for the Aghanim Scepter, looking to steal that additional strength. I know it's been nerfed down to 8 strength instead of 10, but still, it is doubling up on the strength still that you are getting. Hive Scardy, plus the MKB now, freshly minted on Medusa. Shiro, if he gets the chance to hit, will have the damage. Zeal still not really going for any damage this game. With the Wraith Pact, Orb of Corrosion, Blink Dagger, Mana Boots, will just be that disruptive influence in the fight, damage reduction with the Wraith Pact down, just enabling the Medusa to try and do something. Alchemist has a mech, only the 1 level in Grieval's Greed. This is a sad Alchemist at the moment. Echo, Regen Rune bottled up, Blink Dagger and the BKB. Hasn't really progressed a lot in farm. The problem with this draft for EHOME at the moment, as they teeter on the edge of regional qualifier elimination, is it's all on this Medusa. Now, if Medusa gets chronoed before the Stone Gaze comes out, I think she dies, or at least loses enough mana that she can't actually get off any abilities. It might be important for her to get that, the Cold-Blooded, the Shard, just so she can get off an additional Mystic Snake to get back enough mana to cast the Stone Gaze. Yeah, it's okay, Date Garland. I'll probably have a chat about that in the gap between games. But certainly, thank you for your condolences, and the world's condolences, really. And I'll talk between games. I can't get distracted. If I start talking about that, I'll lose all focus on this game. So ZZQ has a Force Staff now, potentially can save his Medusa. That's his entire purpose in this game. I think you'd certainly want the gold on the side of the Faceless Void at the moment. Is there a smoke coming out? Here is 5-man smoke. Aiko leading the way. Coming up the high ground. They will spot it out. Wards put up. Alchemist, ZZQ will run away. Shiro, he can't be left behind by his team.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And with a full Mjolnir build, I think Daedalus or MKB would be enough to kill this Medusa in the fights. In comes the lasso. Will catch out the Tiny. Will get off the BKB. Roll is coming through. Tombstone is on the deck. They're trying to focus it with the Stone Gaze. They want to get rid of this pesky Tombstone. And they will get it. Undying gets off the BKB and the ultimate, but he's inside the Chronosphere, so maybe not going to be enough. The damage is coming out onto this Medusa, now disarmed and Undying with the zombies chasing. Oh, Shiro, you have walked into the wrong horror movie, because right now you're going down. Zeal, the Undying's getting to work as well. Kaiko getting the stun bashes onto Echo in the backline. Stun won't connect. Lincoln's will proc ZZQ. All he does is reveal himself. Kaiko says, oh, there you are. I'll chase you down as well. The chemical rage won't be enough. And this tier 2 will fall. As I've called out so many times, casting the Eastern European qualifiers, and even yesterday with the Chinese qualifiers kicking off, Undying support is absolutely garbage. Undying core, though, now we're talking. Now we're talking. And Kaiko, if he gets one more item, he might even just be able to deal with Medusa fully by himself. Phoenix becoming a little bit more of the sideshow now. His job has been done. You know, he provided that early space, early movements with the blink, toss stun, created pressure on the map. Now he's just trying to get in the Silver Edge. You know, any breaks that are incredibly impactful, not really, just the additional damage comes out and the invisible catch. You know, he's just more of he's the initiate this game. And Roche in 54 seconds. EHOME starting to feel under a lot of pressure now. This almost 4 protect 1 draft. In fact, I'm not going to say almost. I'm going to straight out call it out as a 4 protect 1 draft. We see Medusa at the top of the net worth, but the next highest is the Batrider with only 3k gold. And in terms of the damage this Batrider can output at the moment, he's got a Witchblade, he's maxed out his spells, level 18, but he's not going to do anything really. His time has passed for killing heroes. In fact, he'd probably just be maybe even the supports if he can catch the Omni Knight, might even not die then. But it's a 5-man smoke. They're starting to get a little bit desperate with these movements, going into the jungle of ShenZhen without any vision. ZZQ leading the way with the Force Staff. They start channeling a concoction. They see the team. Hara will come out. There's an immediate blink toss. And Alchemist will go down. Omni Knight will die in the backline. BKB is get up. There's a Tombstone down. Lasso has been used on a Tiny. Phoenix will die. Has a BKB. Will immediately use it. Tombstone trying to be focused in the backline. He comes in, but he gets Stone Gaze. Actually, we'll get the Chrono down on top of Medusa. BKB has been used. Do they have the damage? Undying. He's off to the side of the fight. He's here. Oh, the decays are stacking up and the zombies. It's the same story. And Omni Knight with the buyback as well. If you're not killing this Undying, the longer these fights go, the more Undying will just chip and chip and chip away. Even with the Tombstone going down, with the shard on the Undying, the zombies stack up anyway, and he has a completed AC. Completed AC. For Undying with the 60 decay damage, you can absolutely, you know, justify getting farm on this hero. You can continue the farm, not justify farm, but get farm in the first place. Now, I'm interested in his talent tree choice. He did go for the Tombstone on Death, probably by far the better talent here, getting that Tombstone on Death. 2-second decay would have been tempted to go for, since he is that core Undying. Maybe if he had the Aghanim Scepter, the Decay talent would have been better, but the Tombstone on Death gives insurance. You know, if you do somehow die, there's a Tombstone on Death and you still have value. You get the Reincarnate level 25 and all of a sudden, either one. 6 attacks on the Tombstone as well are dirty.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You get the Reincarnate and you come back, drops a Tombstone, you die against another Tombstone, you add a Tombstone out. Give me 3 Tombstones in the fight once you get that level 25. He's not that far away. He's level 23 right now. I mean, the only issue with that is those 2 talents might just be a pure waste because he's not dying at the moment. Hasn't died yet. But there is potential for it. Wondering what his next item will be. Whether it will be the Aghanim Scepter. Just to get more value out of that decay. Are there any fresh items coming for the side of EHOME? It doesn't look like. In fact, it's a Silver Edge finished up on the Tiny and a Hex completed on YP. He's got a Rod of Atos and he went straight for the Hex afterwards. And he's sending out a Timeless Relic. Ooh. Scarith Mage is turning into almost somewhat of a core here. You know, only 2k gold actually behind the Pangolier and 3k gold behind the Batrider. A support with a Hex is incredibly scary. Pyko has the DD, Aegis in hand, Chronosphere at the ready. And let's see how this fight goes down. Stun will come out and connect. Heavenly Grace keeps him very safe in the middle of the fight. Level 25 Chrono took the backtrack. Oh, now it's not just 2 tanky cores on the side of ShenZhen, it's a third. With this 20% backtrack, basically 20% of all damage is reduced, but it's actually more than that because at a minimum, it's 20% reduced. At a maximum, it's pretty much unlimited because you might backtrack the high damage source. And you know, think about what might come out here. You know, you could backtrack the Sharpshooter and just not take any damage from that ultimate at all. You backtrack a fully charged Concoction. So it makes the Faceless Void incredibly tanky. And with the Heavenly Grace on top, giving him an additional 38 strength, he's very hard to bring down. EHOME are now playing the split game. They are trying to get as much value out of the map as they can. Echo and Planet are just down in this side lane. They might look for a pick-off. Phoenix, though, he's here. And knows that there's a sentry on the deck because the creeps will actually start hitting him. And with that immediately, Kaiko runs to the bottom lane. DD is spotted out in the bottom river. Faceless Void will probably go back for that. Will be active for another 2 minutes, so certainly no rush on it. Phoenix has a bottle, so making this Tiny probably deal even more damage than is needed. It's already got enough burst. Kaiko, with probably not necessarily needing a DD on the damage he already has. Satanic completed and a Trickster Cloak. 20% evasion, 20% magic resistance. Is there? Yeah, the MKB is there, so will not care about that evasion, but that's only, you know, the one hero. There are other heroes on the side of EHOME that will try and hit this Faceless Void. Jumps in, jumps out, just testing to see if there's any smoked heroes there. Trying to dispel it, but what can they do with the Aegis alive and active for another 39 seconds? They have to wait it out. If they have any chance of bursting this Void, and he's just scouting out where they are. He just keeps jumping. Where are you? We're playing hide and go seek, and EHOME, they're not hiding too well. In fact, they're standing 3 on top of each other. They might even go for a chrono. Ooh, chase out the time dilation. Aegis will expire momentarily. Doesn't have an item to chuck straight back into it apart from the Wraith Band at the moment, but sitting on 4.3k gold, so it won't be very long until he has almost fully 6-slotted items on this Faceless Void. The difference between the two teams is Faceless Void and Medusa both have very similar farm, but it's the supporting cast that has the gold for the side of ShenZhen. Echo, still no items on top of this BKB Blink Witchblade. Look at the Pangolier. He still has nothing. He hasn't progressed in items for a very long time. Yule Scepter, Blink Dagger, Wraith Pact. Yeah, these are the items he had pretty much 20 minutes ago. The farm has completely stagnated for these two cores of EHOME. It's just Shiro that is getting farm priority, and even with that, he's falling behind the farm of the Faceless Void now. He's just going everywhere. He's farming the entire map. 5.4k gold now. I wonder what this last item is going to be. Blink Dagger Shard being queued up by the Skyrath Mage. Shield of the Scion. Gaining a little bit additional bonus intelligence and armor. It wants to be a little bit tankier in the fights. Wants to live. Certainly is valuable. Dolm, he's got the strength blink now as well. Overwhelming blink online with a Havoc Hammer. Look at this man. I don't think he can possibly actually die. He's level 25. He can't die. He's got the reincarnation on death. 300-second cooldown. So Dolm can't die. If he does, he'll drop a tombstone. He'll respawn. If he happens to die again, he'll drop another tombstone. And it's almost... You have to ignore this undying at this point. He's too strong. What do? You can't ignore him because he's going to kill you with the zombies and the flesh golem amp damage. But if you try and kill him, he's just going to respawn with that free Aegis. He's pretty much a Wraith King on roids right now. EHOME hanging on to their TI dreams by a thread. We are very early in the qualifier at the moment. They are not qualified yet for the last chance qualifiers at TI. They have to go a lot longer for that. And ShenZhen, they want to finish this game. They're 20k lead. They don't want to go to a game 3. Anything can happen. Here comes Dom. He just blinks in with the free Aegis. He's not fear at all. Tombstone goes down. BKB and ulti committed on the Dusar. They can just go in now. It's free reign. There's nothing protecting Shiro. Out comes the control, and there's the Chrono with the ulti dropped on top. Phoenix on the outside will be there to follow with the follow-up damage if it's even needed. 84 seconds, no buyback. Echo comes in with a BKB, but for what? Dolm is in the middle of the fight with the BKB. He doesn't care for any team, and there's the GG. EHOME are out of these qualifiers, and ShenZhen are advancing into the next round of the lower bracket. The dominant display. And this is a team that I can honestly say I'm very interested in seeing play some more matches and how they progress in this tournament, because they look like they understood the current meta heroes incredibly well.